Similar to Miles, somewhere in the South specifically, you are a 10.
Right.
He's a 10. Like, very similar to Miles.
For sure.
So no matter where you are in America, you got to move in a space like somewhere in Montana, I'm a 15. At the very minimum.
I know I am.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Montana. You're a 25.
Shout out to everybody in Montana. But they say Middle American people are the...
No.
Okay. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I am your girl Intisar. This is my beautiful husband Joe.
Hey.
And we are back and we are talking all things Married at First Sight season 16. This is episode 3, I believe. And we still haven't really gotten everybody married. I don't understand what's going on. Or 2 or 3, I don't know.
Yeah, nothing happened pretty much. I
don't understand.
Not to be a deadbeat dinner. But, I mean, a lot of y'all was saying that online, too. Like, when I was on Twitter, people was just like, and I'm glad people are catching on. People was like, y'all are just really dragging this out. Like, it's no reason why it's taking a whole 2 hours for you to get 3 couples married.
But it's already 2 hours long.
I know. And we don't care about them trying on these ugly outfits. Like, we don't need to, that could be a 10, maybe 10-minute segment of the episode where they come in and they try, and y'all can get everybody in and out going and trying on these outfits. I mean, it's like, we get it. Y'all want them advertising dollars, but y'all are slow walking this.
And the truth of the matter is, the best dress was Gina's mom. Like, period.
How about that?
She blew everybody
Gina's
out the
cute.
water. Gina's mom, she said, oh, what y'all thought? Let me tell you something. She came through and ate everything up. Come on, Mrs. Pac-Man. I was really here for that.
Gina's mom was cute.
She was too damn cute.
And so is, I think, is it Jasmine's mom?
Jasmine's mom, because she looked like Angela. No, it's Kirsten's
mom.
Look like Angela Bassett. Now tell me Kirsten's mom don't look like Angela Bassett. So in this episode, Shaquille and Kirsten got married. It's evident she is not into it.
You know what somebody also said on Twitter?
What?
They had a picture of Jasmina and Jasmina and Michael, and it basically said like, "Get ready." with Shaquille and Kirsten. I could definitely see them being this season's Jasmina and Michael.
But I also can see them turning it around and being Miles and Karen.
But can we really call Miles and Karen turned around?
They still together?
Right, but can we call it turned around? You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You know what I mean?
It might be.
It's still an off dynamic there.
I'm nervous for Shaquille and Kirsten. Just, if we're talking about first impressions.
Oh, 1,000% nervous. Like, I can definitely see it going left. It was nothing wrong. People was talking about her comment about her saying it was 2 demerits already. Like, it's nothing wrong with the bull. You know what I'm saying? You just met him. You don't know anything about him.
You literally just met him.
Yeah.
This really is less experiment about love at first sight and more experiment about how shallow people are.
True. That's true.
The more we get, like, think about all the years that have passed, all the people who have been married. The deeper we get into these relations, like these years of married at first sight, I'm starting to see like less of a trend of people being together.
You know what? I would love to see the numbers on that because I feel like I'm seeing that too. I mean, that would be hard. I mean, what is it? 15, 16?
16 seasons. It's funny because I was in the shower the other day and I was thinking.
And that's what you was thinking about?
Honest to God, I was thinking because I like empirical evidence like that. Like, I don't like to just say like,
I'm sure somebody has it.
Oh, for sure. We should Google it. Yeah, we'll Google it and look it up and see what their percentage, their success rate is. But I'm starting to think that this is more an experiment about how one, people lie, and 2, but I always say that. I always say people love to lie about themselves.
Yeah. Of course, 1,000%.
It is the most fascinating
especially
thing to
in
me.
these dating scenes where it's really just a lot of representative.
But I mean, anytime. I have conversations with people all the time, and I ask them, don't I ask people real, not even real, but very genuine questions, because I want genuine answers, and people will say what they think.
It'll be their representative.
We went out, okay? Obviously, we ain't got shit to talk about with Married at First Sight, so I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking.
But it's absolutely connected.
It's absolutely connected. We went out, and one of our friends is dating someone new, and I just asked her, this will resonate in my brain forever. And I just asked her, first I asked her what her sign is, and she was like, I don't really believe in that. So talk about a demerit. I was like, okay, you don't believe in it, but all right. So I didn't go into my spiel. Because I'm all scientifical, but I just was like, you have never met somebody like your intuition, your tummy, everything in you just felt like this person is just not for me. They were like, no.
By the numbers, that's not true. By the numbers, if you live, she was obviously 30 plus years old, right?
I don't think she is.
She is.
No, she's not.
She's not 30 plus years old?
No. I'll tell you her age later. No, I'm telling you she's not.
She's obviously not.
But go ahead. I'm thinking she's a grown woman.
I mean, she's an adult. She's my point is she's an adult.
I was saying that to be shady, not to be like.
Oh, she's an adult by a long shot. Like she's not. We're not talking about a teenager or anybody like who can't get into a club. So the numbers say that by that math, you live life long enough. Mm-hmm. You're going to run into at least one person who you just don't like. You just meet them and there's something about them and you just can't do it. That's just the probability.
Right. That's just numbers.
That's it.
And all we're trying to say is that who are y'all saying these things for?
The public. I think people really have this idea of how they want to be perceived publicly. And a lot of their answers in situations like this dictate that a lot of that is dictated through how they respond to these questions.
I think Kirsten is absolutely visually a beautiful woman. Okay, by anybody's standards. However, I do not. We're only on episode 3, so obviously we got to give her some room. But based on this episode, I'm not certain that she signed up for this.
I think
that it was like one of those things, like they were on a dating app and they saw her profile and they were like, look.
Oh, you think she got plucked just like Jasmina got plucked?
I think Jasmina was
seen a lot of Jasmina comparisons.
Beautiful. Y'all. I think, and not even, and I don't want to say it like that. Like these other girls is just like home.
No, but it's something to it.
I'm saying that she's abnormally.
Yes. It's something to it.
For this. And not to say, and also not to say that just because you're beautiful, you can get a husband or whatever the case may be. Granted, it ain't hard to get a man and it also ain't hard to keep him. But it's like
that's subjective.
True.
Because I think it's people in the comments that don't agree with that. They've spoken to us about it.
I think it's easy. Don't you think it's easy for people to get men? That's what I mean. Like, I think you can catch a man.
I think it's easy to secure a relationship. Okay. But whether it's good or bad is a whole other thing.
It's just a relationship.
Yes.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. But yeah, I don't Shaquille, first of all, I think he also, you ever talk to somebody and they are impressed with themselves?
You think Shaquille is impressed with himself?
Yes.
I don't get that from him.
I don't get it in a bad way. I just get like I'm not offended by it. I just am saying, like, if I were talking to him and he was talking about mentees and everything like that, I would be like,
I get what somebody pointed out on online. A lot of people pointed out. I get a little bit of that Miles. I don't want to say like cuckold type thing, where I mean, to be honest, where somebody pointed out a good point in the episode where she kisses him on the cheek, and then in the very next scene, he's like, she has boundaries. I love that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, don't do that. Don't be that guy this season.
Well, she's cute enough to be that guy.
She slaps you in the face, and you're like, I love her strength. Like, you know what I mean? Like, please, man, don't be that guy.
I love her
it's
strength.
hard to watch. I mean, it's guys out here like that, and I'm already getting those signs from him. Like, she could do anything, and you're gonna turn her.
Well, I'm not gonna pretend like she couldn't do just about anything to me either.
She can't.
I would have to be like, all right, well.
The reason why is you got to have the confidence in yourself to feel like you deserve a certain amount of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, we don't want to see nobody on here getting walked over.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I want it to be genuine and exciting. And yeah, I thought she looked beautiful. I thought that it's unfortunate that it, two demerits.
Because also similar to Miles, somewhere in the South specifically, you are a 10.
Right.
He's a 10. Like very similar to Miles.
For sure.
So
1,000%.
you gotta move no matter where you are in America. You gotta move in a space like somewhere in Montana, I'm a 15. At the very minimum.
I know I am.
Oh yeah. I've been to Montana. You're a 25.
But shout out to everybody in Montana. But they say Middle American people are the
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Nicole and Christopher. Nicole is over the top. Not only is she over the top, you want to know, let me talk about production a little bit. Do y'all feel like they're giving us the same archetypes?
Yes. They definitely have
a cookie
mood
cutter
board.
Yes.
Before they do these castings.
Yes.
And they have characters that they want to fill. And they do it, and I want them to get away. I want them to get away from it for many different reasons. I think sometimes it's very I don't want to say racial, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of cliches there.
It's cliche.
It's a lot of cliches.
It's very stereotypical.
The dark-skinned black guy is always a player. You know what I mean? Always.
Oh my God.
It's like, what are we doing? And then we have like the southern fair-skinned black guy who's a pushover. And then we have it's like every season you can point out your characters. You know what I mean? Kirsten and Jasmina. It's like the pretty, you know what I mean?
Yes. But the truth of the matter is, would we watch if it was a bunch of, aesthetically challenged people on here?
No, but there's a way to produce it where it
feels authentic.
Yes, and it's still. I mean, we watch Love on the Spectrum, and
Love on the Spectrum.
People can't get enough of Love on the Spectrum.
Like, love it. We was talking about it at the bar to each other.
We sure was.
And somebody just definitely stepped, even though we wasn't talking about that kind of love on the spectrum.
No, we wasn't.
We were talking about other love on the spectrum. Yeah. But yeah, Nicole is over the top. Nicole is over the top and she's insecure, which is probably one of, and I hate saying that people are insecure, but why have the word if you can't use it?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? It just is what the hell it is. Her talking about, and I'm the same way. Like we all, like our women, you get to a certain age, your body starts changing on you, and it's hard for you to kind of like see yourself differently from where you were, even maybe like 90 days ago. If you're like, some of us fluctuate, our weight fluctuates, and it's hard for us to do things like shopping or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like she turns everything into a thing. Yeah,
and I feel like there's a lot of people in this process, y'all. Like, I feel like y'all get a lot of applicants.
A lot.
You can steer away from pairing somebody like that in this particular show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're setting them up. Especially, I mean, that's a lot if you know the person, you've been through life with them, you genuinely love them. Like, people who can literally just turn anything into a thing. Like, that is, you already have enough obstacles in a marriage and any relationship, let alone somebody who just is constantly looking for things. Yes. We was watching the one show, Love is Blind Brazil. Y'all told us to watch it. We started watching it, and it's a lot. We was watching Love is Blind Brazil. We was singing, I mean, couple after couple, where somebody was in there like, I want you to say you love me today.
It was red flags.
Red flags everywhere.
It was red flags everywhere.
Red flags, and most of it was sprung from people who was just looking for something. They need anything.
I mean, anything, child. It's really, really frightening out here. And the thing is that of the cast, I like Christopher. I do
too.
I like Christopher a lot. But you know what? I like people who are just who they are.
Yeah.
And not that Nicole isn't, but some of this feels produced to me.
Oh, a lot of it feels produced. And I think when I see her friends and family rolling their eyes, I think part of it is because they feel like she's producing.
He sends her the gift of the moonstone, which I thought was really, really beautiful. And she sent him a crystal, which is also fascinating that he, predicted her name. And then also sent her a crystal when she was sending him one. Or moonstone when she was sending him something similar. But my thing is, the whole thing, it's a diamond. It's a diamond. How do you know?
She's just
How do you know?
She's a lot.
How do you know? I have a lot. I mean, how do you know?
She's a lot.
So even that, like, oh my God, it's a diamond. It's a diamond. I'm sitting there like, shut.
She's about to cry when she's taking out.
Oh my God, I'm just going to walk down there. Would it be weird if I just walked down there and said, I love you? Like, I love you.
And the scary part about this pairing is I don't know that I think Chris is going to be a good husband.
I do.
The scary part about this is I don't know that Chris is the guy to handle her.
The issue I have with the word handle, I have such a deep issue with handle and check me and all these things. You're correct. Don't get me wrong. You're correct. What I'm getting at is that if you have to be with somebody who has to handle you.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Are you an animal?
Are you a child?
Are you a child? Like, y'all have, and I mean this with all due respect, y'all have to grow up. Like, y'all just do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the truth of the matter is that if, what's so easy? Providing respect to the person that you are with.
Yeah.
It is so easy to be in a space with somebody that you're into and give them room to be who they are. Like, it's so easy. It's funny talking about giving room. We was in a car the other day, and Joe and I have gotten to a place where when we're having a disagreement, we don't really yell. Well, we might get like worked up, but we don't yell. But we were talking about something, and this wasn't a disagreement. We were having a conversation. But Joe started like what I thought was yelling. And the whole time I'm thinking like, oh my God, please stop. I can't take it. Right? But I knew in that moment how hard he has worked not to yell at me when he's actually angry. And how he's like really good at just like diffusing it and thinking about what he's going to say, and how he can have a moment to be passionate about something.
Yeah, you know how you be in a barbershop and you just be yelling about trivial shit. Like,
and I'm really his barbershop homie.
Yeah, no, for real, yeah.
So I could have that's why I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. But we were talking about it later, like how I was like, oh my God, like please don't yell at that. But I do think it's room to be in a space with somebody and you be yourself, whether it's quirky or over the top and everything, and it's okay. I just think that she actually needs a monkey handler. Yeah,
no, that's what I mean.
This is a circus.
That's what I mean by I don't know that Chris is the guy because I wouldn't. Would I pair Chris with somebody? Absolutely. I would never
100%.
I would never pair him with such a personality like her because I think she is going to overwhelm him.
But that's the archetype too. Opposites attract. Which I don't believe, we got to be so much alike. I hate when people say that.
Well, that's what they looking for on here.
I don't believe you got to be so much alike. But I do think that it's easy for somebody to get, like me and Joe can both be passionate.
Yeah.
And we both have moments, depending on what we're talking about, where we're passionate, right? Mm-hmm. But what if I wasn't that way at all, or you weren't that way? I could see how that could be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which goes back to what you were saying a while ago about the girlfriend that we met and her take on meeting somebody that you just didn't jive with. Sometimes that's it. Like sometimes you ever been in a room with that person who is just like a look at me person. Oh. Right?
Well, I get secondhand embarrassment.
Yes. But you've been in that room and that person might not even had a personal interaction with you, but you're over them. It's just a personality clash.
Yep.
That person probably has friends who would kill for them, but they just don't have a place in your life because your personalities don't jive.
Yes.
And I think it's the same thing here.
I think so too. They definitely walked in on Chris while he was getting dressed and asked him, did he have on pajama pants? And I could not stop laughing.
Because Chris, that's another thing. What was that tux he bought? We don't need to see this, y'all. The tux was terrible.
The tux was terrible. And
it was terrible.
But everybody ain't got style. And Chris is one of those people. Let's move on to Clint and Gina. Somebody else who does not have the greatest style. And I'm talking about Chuck Norris ass Clint.
But you know what I didn't like about Clint was burns me up. It's your wedding day, bro. Put on a fucking tie.
Ooh, we gotta stop with the F-bombs.
So put on a freaking tie.
Okay. We said
like,
try.
You know what I mean? Like, this is your wedding day. I don't care that if you're. Some people are everyday casual persons. I might be. I think I haven't worn. I went from a life where I wore a suit every week to church as a child or a young person to now. I'll be hard pressed to find my suit. I have like one black suit that when I pull it out, like, you know what I mean? So I understand being that person who in my adult life, I am that casual person where like I can get dressed up if I want to, but that's not really, it's not a part of my regular routine. I don't wear a suit to work or I don't do business casual and stuff like that. So I get it that if that's your person, but this is your wedding day, at least button up your shirt. He wouldn't even button his shirt. But then he joked about it like, well, I look like I'm going on an interview. You do. That's not funny. And you're also meeting a woman who you've never met before. And guess what? She's throwing it on to impress you.
But you know what, though? He gives me, he's impressed with himself.
He definitely gives me he's impressed with himself.
Which, don't get me wrong. When I say everybody should be drinking their own Kool-Aid, do not get me wrong.
To a certain extent, yes.
Right, because it comes a point where now you're a snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
and that's what he gives me. Like, I don't think it's as good as he's saying, and that sounds bad because I'm trying not to be this like person who's like looking for the other shoe to drop or whatever. But I'm just not into like I'm just so chill and like I'm not. It's not giving.
Yeah, I'm picking it up. I know.
You're picking it up over there?
Yeah, I am.
It's not giving. On the other hand, I'm in love with Gina. I love women with big mouths, especially my ladies of the Caucasian persuasion. When they have these like wide mouths, the beautiful Julia Roberts. I love it. Oh, I love it. I just got tingly. I don't know what it is about them big, beautiful mouths. I just think Gina is so sexy. I don't know what it is. I think Gina is cute. I do not know what it is.
But that's beside, from my perspective, I don't think Gina is cute. But that's beside the point by why I really don't feel Gina. It's not because I don't think she's attractive. It's because I don't really like her personality. Because she's another one who's overly impressed with herself, and I'm over it.
I think, but this is my thing, and I think I said this before. Women have to be that way, unfortunately.
No, they don't.
Sometimes we do. We have been in this world, this patriarchal world that beats us down, that tells us that we got to look like this and do this and do that.
Black people can say the same thing. I still don't want people.
This is not the oppression Olympics. What I'm trying to say.
It's not. It's not. And I'm saying it's a lot of people that can say that, but I'm still.
And they are all valid.
And I'm still in a place where. Same thing that we said about Clint. There's a certain extent. You should have a certain amount of confidence in yourself to a certain extent. And sometimes there's a line.
I'm not saying that she isn't overly impressed. I'm saying that women have to drink their own Kool-Aid because it is harder for us to do things.
Zar,
am I lying?
As a minority in America, I fully understand what you're saying, and I'm saying there's a line.
I don't like when we do that.
I'm saying no because this is not a subject in which we can't understand each other. You understand what I'm saying? So it's necessary to state like I'm a black man in America. I get that part. I'm saying that there is a line. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's a line. That's all I'm saying. There's a line, and there is a top of this pot that it can boil over and be too much. And I'm saying that it's too much. And I think the two of them together is about to be a whole lot of too much. It's about to be a whole lot of I'm feeling myself more than you're feeling yourself.
But I be on TikTok, and that's how they are.
That's annoying to me.
That's how a lot of these TikTok couples
are. Not only is that annoying to me, but I know that that's annoying to you. Because similar to my example about a lot person in the room,
I've seen your reaction when that person comes in the room, and you roll your eyes to the point where they'll get stuck in the back of your head. It's a lot.
I just like when people don't feel like they have to put on airs, because, and it might be because I don't put on airs, and I just be wanting a safe space for me to just.
This is my point.
Let it all hang out.
This is my point,
and when
because
people
you are
like
confident.
buttoned up, it make me uncomfortable. Like same day, we all went out. And with the new couple, and how with him, me and him be letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
All the time. But I felt like we had just met her, and she was like, you know, trying to get to know us. But to know us is to know that all of us.
She was putting on.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I was trying to be nice because I actually like her. But
I do too, but
I like her. I just, you know,
I see it.
I just be like, girl, relax. Like, you can relax.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know what I mean? You could be you. Yeah. We promise we're going to like you good, better, and different.
But people don't feel that way. And I think more times than not, their default is like, I got a lot to kick it. And it's like, you don't have a lot to kick it.
And you know what also, though? And this is so off. This is so on a tangent. I really don't think people are used to hanging out with black people.
Oh, well, that's accurate.
And it just being,
you can tell.
And it just being chill. Like, we don't have to talk about black people stuff. Whatever that is.
Yes.
We could just live.
You don't have to talk about black culture.
We are black culture. So we don't have to talk about it.
It doesn't have to be like, you say somebody walked up to, and this might have been the craziest. This is the craziest thing that I've heard. And I frequent circles where I am the minority in the room.
Yeah, you do.
I've never heard anything like this. You said you were at a hotel, I think, somewhere.
I was sitting at the bar. Joe was playing.
Somebody walked up to you and said, what did they say?
No, her and I were having a conversation, but she was drinking. So the conversation would just stop. And we would just like, I would go back to eating, and then she would go back. So she had said something to me about being, oh my God, a cougar or something like that. And then she said,
my husband.
She said, it gets quiet. And I'm like, whatever. And then she's like, my husband loves black culture.
Yeah, see, like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I literally did. Like,
that's weird.
We don't have to do this.
At all.
We could talk about the TV was on. We could have talked about, White Lotus or this or whatever. It's just like, y'all, it doesn't have to be a thing. I live in this world too. We're living the human experience as well. Everything, I don't have to litigate social issues every time I'm outside.
It's annoying.
It is so annoying.
It's especially annoying to well-rounded black people.
It's so annoying. But back to Clint and Gina. I love the way he was looking at her. It gave me the tingles.
He was definitely attracted to her.
He was attracted to her, and it made me feel good because she's a curvilicious woman. And I like when curvilicious women get they just due. And then they kissed. They had a good kiss.
They was kissing a lot. They definitely like each other.
Yeah.
Physically, they definitely like each other.
And so crazy, but this is a testament to how small Nashville is. They live in the same building.
Yeah, Nashville is definitely a small major city, kind of like Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we keep seeing the same bartender.
Yeah,
every restaurant we go to.
He is working.
He is working ass. Okay,
no, for real.
He got to feel like these motherfuckers don't cook.
I know.
Nothing. But yeah, so I'm here for Clint and Gina. Nothing really stuck out to me about them and their thing. So let's talk about Jasmine and Eris, because the truth of the matter is this was really what happened this episode.
Yeah.
Was the beautiful cousin, whose name I cannot remember, but she is stunning, came up to him and let him know, we can get the fuck out of here if you want.
Terrible.
There is this thing. He said, well, I hope it works out. I hope it does. I hope. She said, hope. You're not even sure. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even be sure that this is going to work out. Like, I don't know if I would do that. And I think that's the sentence we need to focus on.
Right.
I don't know if this has nothing to do with you.
This is not your wedding.
And I know that people like to love on you based on proxy. Because I'm close to you. I feel like what you go through is what I go through. But feelings aren't facts.
At all. And your life is your life. and their life is their life, and we have to not confuse the two. We was talking about this earlier with my sister about how people will either encourage or discourage you solely based on
their lived experience,
their own experience, what they would do, what they wouldn't do. And it's like really rare to get a friend who can isolate themselves in their personal experience and really give you advice or their opinion solely on what they think you can do, solely on how far they think you can go, the boundaries you can push. Not like, well, I wouldn't do that.
Which the truth of the matter is,
sad.
That's why y'all need therapists, because our friends have a hard time doing it.
That's a fact. Your friends cannot be your therapist.
So does our family. You know what I mean? They have a hard time getting out of the way or understanding the fact that, yes, you think you're living this life with me based on proximity, but the truth is I came in here alone. I'm gonna be up out of here.
Right.
And not to say that doesn't reverberate throughout your family or whatever the case may be, but I think it's more that we have to make decisions for ourselves.
1,000%. And I really don't. We talked about this during the episode. I really have a hard time understanding the people who literally let their family and the opinions of their close family and close friends dictate the life that they live. Nobody has to live this life but you. I think it might have been Eris who said, I respect my mom.
No, that was.
Was it a different?
That was a different show.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
it still applies.
It applies.
I think we was watching Love Is Blind.
Yeah, Brazil.
Where somebody said, I respect my parents' opinions, and then the girlfriend said, well, what if they didn't like me? And he said, that's fine. It wouldn't affect my opinion or my decisions at all. Right. That's how I feel. As much as I love my family and my mom and my sisters and my brothers and all of that, it just was never, when it comes to this right here, it was never going to waver. What I was going to do was never going to be wavered by their opinion. Because at the end of the day, there's nobody in this house but us. 365, 24/7. My mom don't have to live here. My brother don't have to live here. My sister don't have to, my dad. Nobody has to live your life but you. So the fact that y'all can be so close to somebody and think because you're close to them, they should dictate your decisions is crazy. It's crazy to me. It's really nuts to me.
It's really fascinating. And I think that Eris is old enough and maybe him and his cousin have like a brother and sister relationship that's obvious, and she's used to saying like you shouldn't do this or whatever the case may be. But I think
she don't have enough respect for his boundaries, his adulthood to me.
Well, I think it's based on his track record, number one, but I also think that we don't talk enough about women who are in the lives of your spouse, friends, sisters, cousins, whatever, right? Sometimes they have such a close relationship that you coming in kind of messes that relationship. Not messes it up, but
it intrudes on their possessiveness.
Yes.
That's really what it is. It could have nothing to do with the subject at hand, the person at hand, especially male-female relationships. There's some possessive going both ways, and I'm talking about strictly platonic familial relationships.
Yes,
right? A sister, a mother. We've all known a mother who just didn't like a girl because she was a female.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we've seen that before, and it can play out in different relationships, whether it's a cousin or sister or whatever. And I feel like that has to be a part of this as well.
And I think it is. And I think that, I'm curious to see how this plays out, because I also don't like everybody talking about him being an F-boy and this and that. And I'm just like, it's funny. You know what I was thinking about today? And this is not to pin men against women. And maybe it's not to pin, maybe my thought process around being an F-boy, because I was thinking, I can see a man changing. Y'all know I don't really bang with men like that in real life, but I can see a man just waking up one day and deciding, I'm not doing this anymore.
But it's not a man. It's not a man thing. I think a lot of people go through their F-boy stage.
That's what we talked about.
About that.
Yeah.
I think many people. I mean, we've all been to college before. Y'all thought it was only men running around the campus?
I agree.
Hell no. I don't care what college you went to. You could have went to an all girls college. You know what I mean? So I don't even like the notion that it's like everybody goes through there. I'm actually of the, as conservative as I am, I'm of the brain trust that you need to.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I believe that men can switch it off like that, like in a sociopathic way, where I think that women, if they develop that, that's who they are.
But I don't believe that. I think we grow as human beings.
Yeah, that's true.
The things I did as a child, I don't do as a man. As a scripture, but I'm not quoting it as a scripture. I'm saying like that's legitimate to real life.
Yeah, for sure.
The food that I ate when I was in college, I don't eat anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a taste for it anymore. Because I grew and matured. I'm not 20-something anymore, right? The same thing. Your sexual appetite, the way I used to go to clubs. It would be hard pressed for you to pay me to go to a club. Right? Literally, you couldn't pay me to go to a club and sit at a table. And even if you was asking for me to make an appearance, I would have to think about it triple. Like, you know what I mean? But that's just an aspect of maturity, growing. That's true. I think everybody goes through their selfish phase. Not everybody, because I don't think everybody.
But I don't even think, I hate the word selfish. I think it's so like.
It is a selfish phase, and I think you need a selfish phase.
Right, in a positive way.
Yes, because I think you get to a point in life where you cannot be selfish anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that in my experience, just being in close proximity to it, I've seen people get to these big positions in life, mothers, husbands, wives, all of that stuff, and they didn't have a selfish phase, and I see it coming back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah,
and I have personal relationships with experiences with seeing that stuff, and every time I see it, I'm like, this makes sense. I'm drawing it back to they didn't have a selfish phase. Something happened. Somebody had a kid young, or somebody got married young, or something like that, where they skipped there. They went straight into the phase where you can't. As you're a parent, you got little kids running around. You cannot be selfish, at least for 18 years, right? Yeah. And so there's periods in life. You're married. You can't be selfish. Kids or no kids. The selfish days are gone. And so I think that I feel like it's pivotal that people have selfish phases, because you'll get to a point in life where for a long time you cannot do that.
But I think there's an argument between being selfish and being an F-boy. Like there's a difference.
No. There's clearly a difference.
You know what I mean? Because I do think that you could be selfish.
Like I said, I don't think that everybody should be an F-boy. I think that everybody should be selfish at some point.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think that, he said he went to therapy and he's been reading and all these things, and maybe he's getting to a space where he's ready.
But I don't even want to go into that, because all of them have had that phase. I can tell.
What you mean?
All of them have had that phase where they was out in the streets, maybe except for Christopher. So I think I don't want to. This goes back to the characterization.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it like, well, he had to go to therapy to get himself right. They all went to college. I'm sure. You know what I mean?
But you don't feel like all his people are saying that.
I think it's a narrative. We talked about the mood board at the beginning of this tape, and we talked about the mood board that production sits down and does, and they put these people in the narrative, and you see it on the screen. They'll make a little cute title. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Queen for the day, or Miss Clubber, or whatever, right? And then they'll drive that narrative. I get it. You're producing a show, but this is how they do it. And I think this is the narrative, redundantly, boringly so. This is the narrative that they've attached to him, and I just don't want to give it too much energy. Like, you think
I don't want him to give it too much energy though either.
I don't believe he's the only one on the episode in the entire cast who was out in the streets at one point in life. I just don't believe it.
I don't want him to give it too much energy, and the truth of the matter is, I think Jasmine is a catch. I don't really have much to say about her because not much didn't happen. But I didn't really love the dress that she chose, but I ain't had to wear it. So there's that. I thought that, honestly, I think the best dress was Gina. I think Kirsten
was the best dress.
No, I think she looked the best. Like, her hair looked really nice and everything, but I think Gina's dress was better than hers.
Semantics.
That was semantical, wasn't it? So nothing happened with Dominique and Mac, and honestly, I don't think anything is going to happen. So
no, I think it's going to be explosions. He's not going to like her.
I'm gonna be honest. My prediction is y'all gonna have me caping for a man of the Caucasian persuasion again
because she's gonna be a terrorist.
I could tell.
I'm just
because she's an old soul.
Oh, here we go.
I could tell she's an old soul. She came in there with skinny jeans and espadrille wedges.
Girl, let me tell y'all.
Espadrille wedges.
Anybody under the age of 40, go in your closet and throw whatever wedges. Don't put them on. Do not go outside with wedges.
Even though I do got a pair of very sexy.
You do not have no wedges.
Yes, I do. I got a pair of the sexy black boots I got that's like snake skin leather. They are a wedge.
They're boots. No, they're not. That's not a wedge. They're boots and they look good. I'm talking about
espadrille wedges.
I'm talking about the wicker basket ass wedges that you see somebody's great auntie wearing. Don't walk outside.
She came in that store with espadrille wedges on to try on wedding dresses.
Even
and a pair of Fashion Nova skinny leg jeans. But he fly. You could tell from the suit he picked. The first joint he put on, the blue joint,
was way better.
Look,
than
banging
Chris
on him.
Or Clint. He's not gonna like her.
But you know what we also didn't talk about?
He likes her.
And we didn't really address this in the first episode. You know what?
What?
I don't even want to talk about it. Because I was going to say the way that she was with the stripper and everybody looking at her like...
Oh, because, I mean, we did talk about it a little bit.
I can't remember.
It's the immature streak in her.
Because she's an old soul.
And we're not surprised. Because I said, that's how
old souls act.
Young girls act in the club doing all that giddy stuff just because somebody looked at them. That's her.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. So I think that I'm done. Like, I really don't have anything else to say. Like you said, I'm not about to squeeze blood from a turnip. So
it's just good that everybody is on the same page.
Yeah, it is.
I was going live tweeting a little bit, and it seems pretty consistent across the board that everybody was over how they were slow walking this.
Yeah, so
I'm glad that we are on one accord with that.
Yeah, we ain't about to make it a long episode. So if you have not already, do us a favor, bust down. I am Intisar Eleanor. This is my beautiful husband, Joe. Make sure you bust down, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.